Sincerely in my heart, I don't believe that any Nigerian or Africa should go to bed on an empty stomach. We have the land. We have the resources. Nigeria as of today has 50 million hectares of unused arable land. Africa has 60% of the remaining world's uncultivated arable land. By the way, whoever controls what people eat is a major stakeholder. The resources that you are running after runs after people with vision. You won't see a billionaire that doesn't have a vision. Their money is always on an errand. So Teva Foods is about to set an example. We're now planting 30,000 apple trees for a start, 27,000 grapes. So what we're doing is to demonstrate that this can be done and then encourage other young people to do it. Money pursues vision. Start pursuing a problem, start solving a problem. So a question I keep asking, how can I solve hunger and unemployment for Nigeria, for Africa?
Hello, welcome to Teva Food Podcast. This is a space where we have real conversations about agriculture and we talk about innovations, we talk about sustainability, and we explore all the trends that are shaping the future of agriculture in Africa and in the world. My name is Chima. I'm an associate at Teva Foods, and with me here today is my co-host.
My name is Daniel Kosi, and today we'll be discussing the global trends of agriculture and growth and sustainability and how it is affecting the agricultural landscape in Nigeria. And to break it down, we have the co-founder of Teva Foods, Mr. Chima Christian, with us here to help us break down how it's affecting agriculture in Nigeria.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you so very much for having me here.
Okay. Well, we're so pleased to have you here. And today we want to look at the big picture because there's a lot of things going on in agriculture today, and we see that agriculture is evolving very quickly and technology is advancing. A lot of things are happening. So, but for the sake of people who are not very, very familiar with these trends, I want you to talk about the global trends that are shaping the world of agriculture today.
Well, there are three major markers that I'm looking at that I consider global enough that affects agriculture, not just in Nigeria, but in the whole of Africa. First is that of demography. All right, that shift in demography. The West has an aging population. All right, which means that aging population is also the population that is vested into agriculture. You also have it down here in Africa that you have that the farming and agriculture is majorly in the hands of people who are on their way out, really. So the West is not able to get their second generation or the generations after that to invest as much energy as they invested in agriculture. So that important change in demography is affecting food production, not just in Nigeria, but globally. Then that shift in demography is also playing to the advantage of Africa because Africa is the youngest population, as you will know. And then the second is that of technology. Technology, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics, and then the whole portfolio of the changes that has happened in the tech sector and is still happening is going to affect in a great degree the kind of quality of produce we're going to have. All right, then you also talk about now, which is connected to the first, explosion in population. Which is, by the way, Africa is not overpopulated the way people think. We will just be 2 billion by 2050. If you compare the resources we have, both the land resources, the natural resources, you will see that Africa is chronically underpopulated, including Nigeria, as against many of the things you've heard about our population growth. If you've traveled across Nigeria, you will see that we don't make use of up to 10 to 15% of our land. We've not built enough houses. There are many cities we are yet to build. Nigeria, as of today, has 50 million hectares of unused arable land. Africa has 60% of the remaining world's uncultivated arable land. So we have a lot of resources to put to good use. So if we're going to have 2 billion people in 25 years, all right, then we have to make plans to feed them. And that's also what is going to affect, because, and by the way, when I say this 2 billion in 2050, many of you think that it's not going to happen. It's happening already. It's your children. Yeah, your children, because you get married in the next few years, you too. so your children, once they are here, we have gotten to 2 billion, right? So the generation that will produce that 2 billion is already here. They are the Gen Alphas, they are the Gen Zs. And so once Gen Z start giving birth, then Africa is 2 billion, and we have to make plans to feed them. Those are the 3 important things I'm looking at: population growth, shift in demography, and then improvement in technology.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so how do you think these trends that you mentioned now have affected Nigeria particularly directly? And how do you think that Nigerian farmers can begin to position themselves in order to take advantage or not to be disadvantaged in this era?
Yes, so we can take advantage of these trends, not just to enrich ourselves, but to do good, to feed ourselves. I believe that Africa can feed itself and then feed the entire world. All right, I mentioned earlier that Africa has 60% of the remaining world's uncultivated arable land. We can make plans to put this land to use. All right, there are a number of things we have to change. The government has to change our Land Use Act to unlock those lands from the communities to lands that are lying fallow. We have to give it to productive people to make productive use of the land, and then parents or whatever it is to the government, all right, instead of allowing the land to lay fallow like that, and then the people who need the land cannot access the land, and people who have the land cannot make good use of the land. So there are a number of things we have to do at that level. But at the individual level, at the corporate level, there are things individuals can do to see that whatever happens, people must eat. And then again, in many of the African countries today, you're seeing the rise in cost of food. I think it's called inflation, right? And so if you're going to solve that problem for a community, you'll be rewarded for it. If you're going to solve that problem for a state, you'll be rewarded for it. If you're going to solve that problem for a nation, you'll be rewarded for it. And if you're going to solve that problem for a continent, then you will have a continent-wide reward for solving an important problem. And so feeding is an important problem and has to be solved. As today, our population, we are not able to produce what we're eating. We are net importers of food, right? But we have the population to put to use, we have the land, we have the resources to put to use. So I believe that as time goes on, the Nigerians and Africans in general, we understand that we have a lot to do in the world, and we'll take up our role and then feed ourselves and then feed the world. By the way, whoever controls what people eat is a major stakeholder in the global power play.
Wow. That's amazing, sir. And I see that you said something about individual level, and I want you to tell us what you're doing personally. Are you doing anything personally in response to these global trends? Because I know that you recently commissioned a project in Plateau State, Jos. So can you tell us about it and the things you're doing?
Well, what we've done in Plateau is just to merely demonstrate our competence. I believe that it's not enough to leave your ideas in the head. At some point, you have to communicate them through action. Yes. And then we have communicated them through action by the number of things we've done in Plateau, where we've built greenhouse farms, where we're producing premium vegetables. And not only that, we're adding value now to those things that we're producing. But that's the list of the things, because what we have done is large in people's eyes, but it can't even feed maybe one local government, let alone a state, let alone Nigeria. All right, so that's why we're now planning to scale it by doing that and to replicate that same thing in 5,000 hectares of land. In that 5,000 hectares of land, there will be the greenhouse section, there will be the production section, there will be the animal section where we're doing 5,000 cattle. There will also be where we're doing exotic fruits. And then all of these projects are backed by numbers, they are backed by knowledge. For instance, WHO recommends a particular fruit intake. Nigerians are more carbon what do you call it now? What do you call food with sugar? Carbohydrates. Our food is high in carbohydrates, very low in nutrients, in vitamins. And so we don't take enough fruits, right? So, but there is the WHO recommendation. And Nigeria is very far away from recommendation of the WHO. One of the things is availability of these fruits, all right? So many of those fruits are not available because you don't have many fruit tree orchards in Nigeria. While we have those fruit trees, fruit trees in people's villages and where they just harvest and pull out from the market. But we don't have people who are going commercially into fruit tree production. So Teva Foods is like about to set an example. We're now planting 30,000 apple trees for a start, 27,000 grapes, and a number of other things in that operation. So what we're doing is to demonstrate that this can be done and then encourage other young people to do it. So you know, the Bible says that of all that Jesus began to do and then teach. So our effort is to do something and then teach others to do that. That is the only way you can inspire that kind of massive action, not just across Nigeria, but across the continent.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what you've done so far at Teva Foods, can you tell us how challenging was it? Is it that challenging? Do you think other people can get into it? Are you by any means educating others, to training others? Because I don't think that for you, like you mentioned, Africa is about to get to 2 billion population and Nigeria already about 230 million. I don't think, just like you said, Teva Foods, all we just did in Jos, will be able to feed Africa, we'll be able to feed Nigeria or even feed a state. So what are you doing? Are you like you say, okay, so you're already doing 5,000 plants in order. Do you have a scheme of telling other people or getting other people to get involved, to teach them or to show them what you've done? And how challenging do you think it can be?
So about a system, yes, we run free internship programs here in Jos, where we train people for free to do, and then we don't just train them with agronomy or crop production. We also train them the business development angle, how you can get the land, how you can get the capital, how you can get the technology, and how you can get the people. So a number of people have been trained here in Jos. I know of one who came for youth service in Jos. He spent some time with us, and then after his service here, he went back to his home in Kaduna, and he's trying to set up a farm in Kaduna. The last time we spoke, he made a video of the farmland they got and what he's about to do. So he doesn't just know how to farm, but he knows how to get the land. Right, because you need to get all those critical factors of production in place necessary. So some of those are some of the early results we are getting. But as we continue to impact the younger people, I believe that many more people will start their activities or scale up their activities as a result of the things we are teaching and then showing others how to do. But you talked about, but I'm planning, because we've gotten a lot of requests online for people to say, are you doing online mentorship? Because what we're doing can only benefit people who can come to Jos. Right, but people are asking, can you do it online? We're still thinking about that. Maybe by the mercies of God, at the turn of the new year, maybe we'll have to create an online platform where we can democratize our knowledge. Is it challenging? Yes, everything is challenging. All right. I think it was Jeff Bezos or something who was saying that you start off with uninformed optimism, and but the goal is to move from uninformed optimism to informed optimism. What happens is that when you start from uninformed optimism, where the business works on the plan, you know, everything looks good on paper. But when the tire hits the road, you will meet challenges. And some of them you are not able to foresee it. Some of them your brain minimized the impact of those things. And some of them you, of course, exaggerated. But there is that tenacity and the resolve to see through it. And where businesses die is that when people begin to see the realities of business, especially doing business in Nigeria or doing business in Africa, they now go from uninformed optimism to pessimism, right? But you have to figure out a way to solve the problems. For instance, when we were buying the land, when we were acquiring the land where our project is sitting on, we didn't know that flooding was going to be an issue. On our business plan, there was a certain amount of money that was allotted to flood control. All right, we knew that flood control would be an issue, but at the peak of the rainy season, we saw that it was about to, the flood was about to wipe off all that we did. And then we did a number of things that are not in the business plan to secure our projects. But today we have overcome that problem. So it's a life that is continuously challenged, and you will see it not just with agriculture, but with every business. But whatever the challenge is, there is that resolve to surmount it. And once you can get that internal resolve, believe me, there is no problem that a Nigerian cannot solve. There's no problem that an African cannot solve. There's no problem that anybody who has the Holy Spirit cannot solve. And so that's how we have been meeting obstacles and crushing them. Market was also a problem for us. There are people who sat and insist that they determine the prices of commodities that we produce, and they say that this is how much you're going to buy it. All right, because how do you now produce and sell it at the amount that is competitive that allows you to continue doing business? So we encountered that problem, but believe me, it was solved. We rolled our sleeves, we left the farm, we started asking ourselves, who will need this product and where are they? Interestingly, We have not even covered up to 2 cities, and we have run out of produce. I just asked my associate now, they said they are not able to meet up with the demands we have. So we have more demands than we have produce. But there are other farmers who say, oh, I produced and I didn't see the market. What do you mean you produced and you didn't see the market? So you mean that in the whole of Ondo State, nobody bought what you are selling today? In the whole of Nigeria, nobody, say that you're a cassava producer, all right? So you can tell me now that in the whole of Nigeria, nobody bought cassava this week. It's a lie. It's just that you don't know where they are. So find out, where do people buy cassava? If it is not in your local government, move the cassava to find out. Are they online? Find them. Are they offline? Find them. Whatever it is, sell your products. And that is the attitude with which we have, that we have surmounted all the challenges that have faced us thus far. And we are prepared for the next level of challenges. They will come, but believe me, we will surmount them.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Of course, that's quite encouraging for people that are about to go into agriculture and they are afraid of the challenges that might come up when going into agriculture. By the way, thank you for that.
Thank you very much. I'm really interested in the project you mentioned. But before we come back to that, there's been this trend about climate change. And, recently CNN reported that the staple food crops are going to suffer a substantial production loss because of climate change. So what exactly is this climate change, and how is it affecting us here in Nigeria and Africa?
Well, for someone like me, I look at climate change from 3 angles. I look at it from the eternal. I look at it from the temporal, which is what CNN is reporting. All right. And then I also look at it from the geopolitical. So from the eternal, we're not surprised that climate is changing. Jesus already told us this will happen. If you read Mark, it shows you the signs of the end time. If you read Matthew 24:25, it shows you signs of the end time. If you read Revelation, many of those, so you will know about Revelation, where they said they blow a trumpet in heaven and things begin to happen. On earth, crops begin to fail, things begin to happen. And so this is not the first time. All right, so we are already aware. It's like an expo. They've told us this is going to happen. I'm not surprised. All right, that is going to happen. And some of these things are leading us towards the end time that we also talk about, because a lot of the things that will happen in the end time will have a lot of climatic angle to it. And that's also why I'm also warning people to be very careful as to the attributions, right? Because if you attribute everything to natural phenomenon, then some of these signs, when they begin to happen, because the Bible talked about eclipses, it's talked about the movement of the constellations. So if you read it, you will see that many of the end time signs are climatic in nature. And so when they begin to happen, if you're not attentive, you will not know that this is pointing to something. This is not a thing. It's actually pointing to something. All right. So I look at it from that angle. So I believe that we have an elementary grasp, so to say, of what is happening at that level. Then when you come to the physical impact, how do you respond? For instance, you know that the Bible says, and Isaac sowed in that land, and he did what? He reaped 100-fold. But you need to ask, what did Isaac do? Isaac did irrigation. So his father Abraham dug wells. There are people from Gerar that came to quarrel with him over the wells. He dug another one, he dug another one, he dug another one. But what he did was that where others were waiting for rain to feed their animals, this guy dug wells in the middle of his desert, extracted water, and all his animals were alive. While others were waiting for rain, this guy dug wells and was watering his crops. So therefore, other crops were failing, his was not failing. Not because there was an unusual something, it was just the technology called irrigation. So if farmers are still waiting for rains, it's a big risk to take. That you have to, what you need is water. I think this is what Bishop Masika in Kenya has been trying to teach, and I encourage people to go look him up and see what he has done in Kenya, and that model can be replicated across Africa. You need water, not rain. Whether you get that water from the stream, you get that water from 25 meters or feet into the earth, the plants need water. Once you can get water and supply them at the time they need it, you're already into it. All right. Then what are the other things? I also believe that the impact of climate change, and I'm now talking about the third, which is the geopolitics of climate change, is exaggerated. Don't believe me. Pick up newspapers 80 years ago, if you can find them, and you will see that there was flooding in Bayelsa 80 years ago. It's not new. You pick up during the colonial times, they had flooding.
course.
So I'm making this thing look as if it is new. So if you raise in Kwaneri now, CNN will tell you it's climate change. All right. Then if the sun comes out, they tell you it's climate change. So I believe that there is a change in climate, but it's not as it is reported. So geopolitically, there is that geopolitics of climate change and geopolitics of narrative and geopolitics of carbon emission and all of those things. So those are things, and believe me, Africa is being held back by a number of these things, these discussions about climate change, because we have quick access to energy, but the world has termed it unclean energy, and therefore they are pursuing clean energy. So there are a number of things we know about that. Let me give you an instance. What do you guys call clean energy? Battery, solar energy. How do you store the solar energy? Where do you store it? You store it in batteries, right?
Yeah.
What are the components that are needed for making those batteries? Because you don't want coal. Because you're telling me that if I use coal to generate electricity, it's dirty. But you go and borrow nickel from the ground, you borrow all those molybdenum, you borrow all those trace minerals needed. Just do a simple Google search to see some of the elements that are in your battery, some of the elements that are in that, and then just do a simple YouTube video of where they extract it from. It's dirtier than coal, but the world has termed it clean energy and is forcing people to buy it as clean energy, whereas that the process of making the so-called clean energy is even dirtier than petrochemicals. So if you talk about oil spillage as a result of petrochemicals, you just look around you and see how are they extracting these materials or metals they use in this manufacture of the so-called clean energy. And you also see that, you know, someone who sold monkey to buy baboon, I don't know.
Okay. Thank you for that. In as much as there is a report and there is a trend around this climate change, according to news, according to a statistic, we realize that nations like USA, China, and Netherlands, and all of those, even Brazil, and in 2024 alone, did an export of about $100 billion food export, right? So does it mean that these nations are not experiencing climate change in their regions? If so, or Africa, why is it that Africa is so laid back? Is it only Africa that the climate change is affecting? Does it not affect China? Does it not affect Netherlands? Does it not affect Brazil? Why is it affecting only China or only Africa? Why do you think Africa is bearing the more consequences?
So the thing is this, that it's about that narrative. By the way, we have the most supportive climate in terms of food production. There are parts of Canada today, they can only produce food 4 months in a year. All right, the remaining 8 months they have to stay under frost and under snow, right? But they have just 4 months window to produce and they produce and export. You look at some parts of Ukraine today. At least you also saw in the news that part of the problems we had in Africa at the onset of the war between Russia and Ukraine was that there was this embargo on exports. So Ukraine could not export some of its produce. You look at the climate of Africa and the climatic conditions in Ukraine, you see that they have worse. Everything here, we have more sun than they do. And you need sun to convert the energy to produce, right? We have more clement weather, we have more clement climate. So we have more arable land, we have more of everything. All right, so the thing I think is that the mindset is limiting, and that's what we have to break free of. And once we break free of that limiting mindset, you will notice that we have more resources to produce food, not just for us, but for export. As at today, for every food Brazilians produce, they produce 8 times of what they need. So whatever they produce 8 times of what they need, which means that they can do exports. So if they produce 1 tuber of yam for the country, they produce 8 more for others, right? Nigeria is not able to even produce enough for itself, and many of the African countries. So, but I believe that this is beginning to change as young people realize that there is a potential in this sector. All right, and then we don't have to do it the way our parents did it. That we can rely on AI, that we can rely on Internet of Things, that we can rely on technology, that we can rely on our own ingenuity, and by the way, that we can also rely on indigenous wisdom and knowledge. And why do I highlight this indigenous wisdom and knowledge? Earlier this year, Teva Foods, we did that business not in the name of Teva Foods, but we partnered and we produced 10,000 tubers of yam in Urumba area of Anambra State this year. And what I learned from that was a shocker, because we hired a consultant that helped us produce the yams. We hired labor that helped us produce the yams. Of course, we bought sack because we did sack farming. All right, so a number of things. And then when I did the unit economics of producing yam in Anambra State, because when you bring out this yam, you're going to be competing with the man from Benue State who produced yam. Now, where I am paying labor, they have an indigenous way of doing it in Benue State. So you come to my farm and help me farm. Next week, I come to your farm and help you farm. So that way, you're not talking about, oh, I don't have labor. Because labor is a significant cost in production. But they have an indigenous communal technology and system that helps them to overcome that challenge. So where I'm paying laborers per day, they are doing come and work in my farm. They are doing trade by
help me, I help you.
Help me, I help you. So on that alone, their yam is going to be cheaper than mine at the production level. Yes. Where I'm buying land, I don't want to say the amount of money we bought that land. All right, they inherited village land from their great grandparents. Where I'm flying a consultant, paying hotel bills, paying his air ticket from Lagos to come to from Abuja to come to our farm. All right, these guys have indigenous local technology. They've done yam in this village for 200 years, so they know yam. But I have to rely on externals to do my yam. So at this level, I don't want Africans to discard what we have. It will be painful, because when you are pursuing new trends, you're pursuing new technology, you're looking for the latest, especially when you feel that what you have is inferior, then there is that tendency to overlook it. Two more examples on this particular point. I don't know if you know what is called okukibo. I'm from Anambra State. Okukibo is like local fowl. Yes. And today they told us, oh, you have to do this. It's very dirty. It's it's skinny. Of course, you know that I'm also skinny. And
have as much meat.
It has more nutrients per serving than the commercially produced. Yes. But today, I don't know whether I would say we have been brainwashed to discard our local fowls. In America, the people who eat local fowls are the billionaires. They don't eat the synthetic ones we produce. They don't eat the ones we serve at the fast food. People who eat healthy, they are looking for that healthy one. Because if you Google it, your layers today is as a result of government program. These are manufactured breeds. Your broilers are, improved breeds. These ones are closest to nature. And Africans, if for instance this Christmas, your parents bring home local chicken and they say this is what we are killing, how do Gen Z perceive it? That Gen Z has been brainwashed. Because he feels that the layers and the broiler is superior to what grows in their backyard. But I'm telling you that nutrient, this is better. And these are things you can produce in 2 or 3, these ones, these other lab grown meats, you can produce it, the process of producing it. So on that level, you don't want to discard indigenous knowledge for current trends. All right, that is also one. I think I've forgotten the third example I want to give, but this is to show you. Okay, the third example is that my grandmother told me this. She's now late. By the way, did you know that rice is a new technology in Nigeria? Even now, there are many people who eat rice on Sundays. That's why Sunday rice. Maybe some of you Gen Zs will not understand it. I'm a millennial, by the way. But there is this Sunday rice. Rice as a stable crop is less than 100 years in Nigeria. All right. Yeah. So our great grandparents, my grandmother told me that they were eating breadfruits, okwa, African breadfruits. Now I don't know if you know the process of making okwa. Yeah. So that the bulk of the fruit will be allowed to fall down. Either you peel it off to extract the seeds, or sometimes you allow it to decay. Yeah. And after decaying, they will extract the seeds in a very, seemingly dirty process. All right. Yeah. So people who were eating okwa back in the days were considered poor. Your parents need to be super rich to afford rice, and they had to afford it on Sunday. So if you are eating okwa, you'll be looked at the downtrodden of the society, the never do well. Today, attend any typical Nigerian wedding. You need to wear 1,500 for them to serve you ukwa.
Yeah, of course.
What we now discarded, because ukwa has low glycemic index, which means you can eat as much and you won't have blood sugar issues.
Yes.
All right, so it's now being recommended. Interestingly, we've stopped eating ukwa. We've stopped producing it. Are you seeing also part of the reasons why Teva Foods experimentally is trying to do 5,000 trees of that ukwa? And then the science behind it is what we are trying to crack. Because I'm talking to a researcher and I'm talking to him, I said, he says, how do you intend to, for instance, cut down the production period? Because if you plant an okwa tree today, it may take you 13 to 25 years to produce. So we are studying how do we make it produce faster, all right? But that research is ongoing. But be that as it may, even if it will take 25 years, it is worth doing that you should produce these things, because there is no farm in Nigeria that I know of that produces it. Whenever you see okwa, it's the few trees that you have in the villages, and industrialization, urbanization, cutting down trees for houses is also affecting the few okwa trees we have remaining. So if we don't make an intentional effort to safeguard what we already have, then you could now, in the pursuit of trends and technology, throw away what you have. And I advise young people, our parents farmed, and interestingly, and this is quite where it becomes sad for me, they didn't document their processes. Yeah, they did not. They didn't leave videos for us. They didn't leave writings for us. They didn't. So we are looking at how do we produce certain food organically. While we're trying to do something here in Jos, I try to hire an agronomist that can produce bell peppers organically, organic pest and disease control, organic plant nutrient management, and organic handling. I couldn't get. All of them were trained in the use of synthetic fertilizer, synthetic or chemical pest disease control. And that's what we are using. But I'm trying to find out, okay, how did our parents grow their pepper?
Yeah.
There's no document that tells us that. If there are some of them that are still alive, we have to run to them and ask them, how did you do this? And document those things. If not, young people would think that the only way to grow things is by fertilizer and by chemical spray. But believe me, our parents knew what they did. Because don't tell me that we are the first to experience pest and disease. No. We're not. No. They experienced it. Don't tell me we're the first to experience drought. They did. Don't tell me we're the first to experience flooding. They did. But they didn't document how they survived these challenges. And but if it is a worthy something to start looking back to see how our parents did this thing with a view to replicating it in our generation.
Oh, this is interesting. You mentioned that in Benue State, some people find a system whereby they help each other to farm, and so thereby cutting the cost of input, the cost of production. And we also mentioned that our parents have done so well. Africa have done so well in terms of production to an extent, but I feel like as we're having our population is growing so rapidly, I feel like our system is not enough. Just like you mentioned that Isaac, during the dry season, people were lamenting, but he went and dug the well, and then he did his farming and still had about 100 food return, right? So what are the systems? What are the practical? You that is solving, you are now interested in these things. What are the practical systems Nigerian farmers can adopt in order to improve on what our parents have done or what we've done so far? What are the practical ways we can go into this?
The first is to be interested in it, just be interested and have an open mind, because the thing with research work is that you can start, but you won't know where it will lead you to. If you had told me 2 years ago that I'll be sitting here discussing this with you, I wouldn't have believed it. We just had to show a little interest, and then like a Gordian knot, as you are untying it to be leading you to where it may. So about improving systems, there is the technology for irrigation. There is a number of things you can do around irrigation. Just put irrigation on your TikTok or your Instagram. You will get a number of videos and ideas. Just put it on YouTube. You will get a number of things that they are doing. So technology has also made it so much so that knowledge is everywhere. What is not everywhere is the willingness to act on information, right? So if you type something on irrigation, now you can watch 100 videos on irrigation, but that doesn't mean you have irrigated your farm. All right, so I also want to encourage this too much information and too little action. I think our people should reverse it. I think the best way to learn is by doing. All right, so start out something. When they are dying and you ask why are they dying, they say irrigation. Just go and dig it. This irrigation is not. When we talk, it looks like it's strange. What is irrigation? Is well, dig well.
water.
Where I live in Plateau, before you dig 25 feet, you will get water. Interestingly, they charge 3,000 naira per feet to dig, so you don't have to bring sophisticated machines. There are these people, they look around you and they tell you where water is. They don't have to find gadgets from, they know where to find the water. They just tell you, okay, water no day here. They know how to do it, and you pay them as little as 90,000. You have dug a well. If you don't have money to pump it, you can be just drawing it up manually. If you have, you can put solar pumps there. If you have, you can put electric pumps there. So whatever it is, but I believe that we have to have that heart that wants to solve the problem. This is where I see many people lacking. Money pursues vision, right? Many people think that they can start pursuing money. There's a level of money you can't get without a strong and compelling vision. Resources that you are running after runs after people with vision. You won't see a billionaire that doesn't have a vision. Their money is always on an errand. See Bill Gates and what he's doing with his money. See Elon Musk and what he's doing with his money. It's young people that think they can start looking for money and stumble into it. No. Start pursuing a problem. Start solving a problem. So the question I keep asking, how can I solve hunger and unemployment for Nigeria, for Africa? And we did something. While people were congratulating us, oh, see the scale, because what we've done is massive. What we've done already is massive, but I don't see it as that. How many people can that farm feed? Interestingly, we've only gotten to 13 states plus the FCT, and today we don't have farm produce to supply our markets. We're even taking from others. Even today, we can't even farm produce from our sister greenhouse farms to supply the market. That shows you that we are not able to produce enough. But the question I'm asking now, which is what I'm asking, okay, when you tell people, oh, we did 10,000 yams, they say that's quite massive, because if we use a drone to show you where the farm is and it looks so beautiful, and many people have not seen that scale of farming before, so it looks big in their eyes, until we start saying, okay, let us line up people in Gwarimpa area of Abuja and start giving one family 1 tuber of yam. Just one family, 1 tuber of yam. One family, 1 tuber of yam.
Insufficient.
It's insufficient, so we can't even feed one cluster.
Wow.
So, but I'm thinking, can we do 12 million tubers of yam? What is the annual consumption of yams in Nigeria? And can we make a dent? I know the annual consumption of apples. I know the annual consumption of berries. I know the annual consumption of some selected fruits that I'm interested in. I don't have the numbers up here, but it's on my laptop somewhere. Right? And I'm looking at these numbers and say, what does it cost to produce this for Nigeria? Why are we dependent on this? I know how many hectares of apple orchards they have in South Africa and the number of volumes they're doing, right? Why can't we convert some of these lands here? Why is this land, lying? Because I want to solve this problem. Sincerely in my heart, I don't believe that any Nigerian or Africa should go to bed on an empty stomach. We have the land. We have the resources. We have the resources. And so therefore, when young people leave money, because I see people who are coming into agriculture, their vision is to make money. And when they come into agriculture, you will pass through some rough challenges. Agriculture will test you to see if you really want to do it. So people who don't want to do it will run back because they're looking for money. People who want to solve problems will ask themselves, the problem I came here to solve, has it been solved? If not, we'll find a way to overcome the challenges and solve it. And that's why I've persevered. If not, that our greenhouse farm would have collapsed in the 2nd or 3rd month, because there were challenges. Even till today, there are challenges we are experiencing. But the question we keep asking, we said we are doing this for the people, have we done it? All right. So I encourage young people. I also encourage our billionaires, our people who have money to invest, to have this thing called impact investing. There's money to be made, there's profit to be made, but profit is not the goal of business. The goal of business is to serve God's people, right? So what we've set out to do at Teva Foods is to serve God's people with healthier food and cheaper food, and food available when they need it, all right? And that's the question we're trying to ask. So even if now that you're talking about, oh, we're trying to do something on 5,000 hectares, imagine, can it feed a state? No. Can it feed 2 local governments? No. That's it. So regardless of what scale you've done, But the vision is indeed larger than that 5,000 hectares that we're trying to do. So we've done something in our phase 1 of the project. We are now commissioning, starting up the 5,000 hectares. But again, it will still not be enough. We need all the resources we can get. We need all the land we can get. We are talking to a number of people because this land are locked up in silos. Some of them owned by communities, some of them owned by government, some of them you have intertribal, some of them, of course, occupied by Fulani herdsmen. But all of those issues, we have to redeem this land and put them to productive use. Nigeria has no reason again to have even a single child go to bed on an empty stomach.
Wow, that's amazing. While you were talking, I was thinking because been wondering because in Nigeria recently Vanguard talked about integration and the fact that the future of agriculture lie in integration and not expansion. So because we have a lot of post-harvest losses, we have a lot of things that are not working properly in processing, distribution, storage. So how do we manage that? Because is it really a production problem that we have, or we have an integration problem in Nigeria, or both of them?
Well, you have all. Production-wise, we're not producing enough. Let nobody kid you about it. If we shut our borders again to say, let us eat all the rice we produce in Nigeria, rice will go up again because we're not producing enough. All right? Yeah. If we shut our borders on grain and say, let us eat all the corn we are producing here, you will see what will happen. We are not producing enough. So there is a production issue. So I know we're trying, but the population, you have to feed 230 million people every day. Yeah. Every day. It's not as if you eat today, you not eat next week. And hunger is not seasonal. Why should feed production be seasonal? Do you see it now? I mean, okay, you say, okay, it's the season for food now, let me be eating food. So in October, I shouldn't be eating. No, hunger is not seasonal. You have to feed 230 million people every day. And our farmers are not able to do it. So we have production issues, so we have to scale production. All right. Then when you talk about processing and value addition, yes, there's a number of things to be done there. The access to the markets, the cold storage systems, preservation, processing, and all of those other things. There's a challenge there. But that's also where you have opportunity for private sector players. All right. And then, the governments can do what they can. But again, instead of blaming and waiting for the government, people can take it up as businesses to do. All right. There is a huge opportunity in taking up things when they are cheap and a value to it with a little amount of resources and then sending it back to the market. So the farmer may not be able to do that full step by step. They want to stay in their farms, right? So if your job, for instance, I see many people who are saying, oh, I'm a digital marketer, oh, I'm into social media marketing. Yeah, your skill is good, but tied to something. Find a farmer in Nasarawa who is producing something and say, I can use my digital skills to connect you to buyers from the US, to connect you to buyers from Abuja, to connect you to buyers, and you've solved the problem. So instead of staying online on TikTok looking for drop shipping and I'm not denigrating anybody, but I'm giving young people ideas that young people can come into agriculture. You don't have to farm to take a number of value out of the system or from the system, or even to add value into the system. So I've said there's opportunity for social media managers, there's opportunity for graphic designers, there's opportunity for web developers, there's opportunity for even AI people, there's opportunity for all the people in tech. So what you want to do, and which is what I learned from David Ogunshola, is to find a sector, one sector, and find another sector. They may look as if they are polar opposites, combine them. So find agriculture and bring in technology, combine them, you create exponential growth.
Wow.
Do you understand? So that's what I've learned from David Ogunshola. So if young people who are watching us today, who say, but I don't know how to produce maize, there are a number of people who can produce maize, but they don't know how to add value to it, but they don't know how to tell people that they are producing maize. They don't know how to get the maize to people who actually eat the maize. If you can solve only any of these problems, the society again will reward you for that. And let me talk about integration, which is important. Integrated farming is an aspect of farming because the people who trained us, and I'm also finding loopholes in our training. If you go to, and I'm not denigrating them, it's good to take their wisdom and improve on it. If you go to the many major schools teaching business, both in Nigeria and outside, They usually try to teach mastery of one. Like if you are producing soybeans, stay. It's better for you to do 10,000 hectares of soybeans than to do integrated. That's the knowledge that is out there and is popular. And this is what we've built in Jos. You know that in that facility we are producing only one single commodity, bell pepper, in the whole of the facility, right? But in the next project that we're doing now, we've seen the foolishness of the limitations rather of this system. We buy chicken manure. We buy cow dung in trucks. We buy all those things, even rabbit urine. Why can't I just put a cluster to do rabbits here so that I can extract their urine as an organic fertilizer? Why don't I have small cows here so that the vegetables from my pepper, the cows can eat it, and then the dungs from the cow, I can use it as manure? So an integrated cycle where there should be no friction between the farmer and the herder, because the farmer produces forage for the herder produces manure for the farmer. So what we want to do at Teva Foods is to bring the farmer and the herder and merge them into one person in a system. So that's what you've seen. If you look at the plan, what we're trying to build, there's 5,000 cattle there, and there is the space for greenhouse farming, and there is the space for orchard, and there is the space for open field, playing into a number of legumes, and then also a number of cereals, and also a number of staple food. All right, so just to do an integrated system so that we can, cut down the reliance on externals. All right, now if you are doing only let's say cow production, there is the likelihood that you will have a lot of cow dung that you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, true.
And it becomes a problem for you. But if you are doing an integrated system, this part of the farm takes the excreta from the other part of the farm, and today in our place, after pruning, you will see that all the leaves, we discard them. If we had goats or things or rabbits, we would take those leaves and give to them. They will eat it and produce manure for us. So that's the integrated system that we're about to do. I understand the economies of scale support the other guys, but I'm also seeing that there is a need to circulate within a system to create an ecosystem, because God created it to be an ecosystem. There's no one tree you can find in a garden. All right, it's a potpourri of trees and animals. So what we're trying to create is not Eden, but it will take a lot of its inspiration from Eden.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, I agree with you, because recently this year I visited a pig farm, and one of the challenges that the owner of the pig farm was having is that his pigs, the pig dungs, he couldn't see any space to keep it. He created a space for it. He has been dumping it there. This space is no longer enough to contain the pig. And I'm saying, and just like you said, if he had a farm, all right, where he produces cassava, some stuff like that, he could have taken those pig dungs and then used it there, and then none of them is a waste. So that's beautiful. Okay, yeah, you mentioned that you are encouraging youth to come into agriculture and all of that. So recently I made a post on the social media and about agriculture, and a lot of youths indicated interest in agriculture. However, many of them highlighted their challenge, their fears and all of those things, which one of them is that they perceive agriculture to be quite capital intensive, and they do not have the enough financial buoyancy to get involved in agriculture. And so my question is agriculture really capital intensive? Is it only meant for the people that has the money, or is there a way people, especially young people, can practically get involved in agriculture?
Agriculture, yes, is capital intensive, but the good thing is that the young people who are telling you that already have the capital they need to start. If they don't have the capital, they can acquire it in 3 years or less. And let me tell you, for instance, honesty can be converted to capital. When people know you as an honest person, that's capital. If people don't know you as an honest person, you have 3 years to deal with them honestly and transparently and prove to them that you can be trusted. Just 3 years. Even if you're known as a chronic liar today, when you tell the truth consistently over a period of 3 years and you move into a new environment and you have really changed, it will reflect. And that honesty is capital. Believe me, there are many people today who have money and they're looking for people to invest it in. But they need to know that you have the values. Why do banks not lend? You should ask yourself, it's not about business plan. They lend, yeah, they will tell you to bring your business plan, bring collateral, but they lend to people who default. I'll give you an instance. In I don't know if it is 2019, well, during the COVID-19, maybe 2020, there was this program that I was signed up on. I think it is from the Nassau Microfinance Bank or something. All right, and the lawmaker representing me then, they did this thing and they put us on that thing. And so they gave us a COVID-19, either grant or loan, I don't know which of them. All right, and one day I was passing by and I walked into the Nassau Microfinance Bank and I said, I have this thing you guys gave me during COVID-19. I think it was 700 and something thousand. It was huge money because during COVID-19 you needed money. They weren't giving it to us to start a business. They just wanted to give. But I didn't see it as government money. And I said, what is this money? Can you explain it to me? This year. And I said, oh, this money is not a loan. It's not a grant. It's a loan you're expected to pay. I said, and they did not tell us. If you had told me, I would have paid back this money. And I said, okay, since this money is like this and I'm doing a project worth this, I'll be paying this money in tranches. All right. And I'm beginning to make plans to pay that money. Not because of anything, but because I know it is not my money, has never been my money, will never be my money. All right. Now, if you do business like this for 10, 15 years and people can know who you are and trust you, even when you make mistakes, let them be honest mistakes. That is enough capital. But the thing with young people is that their parents don't trust them. Their siblings don't trust them. Their friends don't trust them. Their secondary school mates don't trust them. Their university mates don't trust them. The people in the mosque don't trust them. The people in the church don't trust them. Where will you get the money? Where will you get it from? Because if you notice that the first thing they will tell you in business is to use what they call friends and family to raise the money, because friends and family will raise no interest money for you. But initially, especially for us now, I've done business, that initial money you will get, you are likely to lose it, but you will gain a university worth of experience. Do you understand? Yes, so yes. Even if you don't lose it, you use it to buy the experience. You use it to test the product. So initially the idea is in your head, but you can find 10 people who can look at you and give you 10 million each, 10,000 each. You have 100,000 to test this idea to see if it is viable. All right, you have idea in your head and you have 5 people who can give you 500,000 each. You have 2.5 million to test whether this idea will work. And then as you are testing the idea and you are documenting the process, and then people see, okay, he has done it. You say you want to do vegetable farming. Why don't you? And then a lot of times people want to start it off big. All right. You say you want to do vegetable farming. You don't have land, no problem. You don't have money, no problem. Can't you start, this pure water sachets? It's enough. Get pure water sachets. One sachet of one bag of pure water is what? 20 bags, 20. Yes. Get the 20, use scissors to open it. Go outside. Don't buy land, just go and get sand. You don't have to buy land. What do you need now is sand, just sand you need. Go outside, find sand, and goes to someone who has manure, maybe chicken dung, pig dung, whatever it is. Mix that sand and that thing. Put it in those nylon and plant your stuff there. If you look at the roots of these vegetables or some of these plants, their root composition, you've seen it. Yes. Try to go in our farm today, uproot one bell pepper and study the roots. All those ridges you made is not useful. That's what I found out. All those things can fit inside a pure water sachet. There are people today who grow banana in buckets and the banana will ripen. In buckets, you don't need land. Why don't you do it in your mother's balcony? Why don't you do it in the front porch? You're saying you are living as a tenant. Try get cement bags. Do 10 bags of cement. Plant yam inside it. Let it grow. Learn from that. And then when you're doing that and you can show capacity that I can manage 10 yams, then you can attract the funding for 100 yams. When you manage 100 yams, you can attract the funding. So that's the way it works. First, build the capital. The capital you need is your character. It's your tenacity. It's your resolve. And that's why some of these things that people are teaching, that people think, oh, you can make money by fraud. No, you can't make money by fraud. It's not sustainable. How many people can you defraud before they know you as a fraudster? How many? But then if you make your money through honesty, you have repeat customers. Some of the people who invested in tranche 1 of Teva Foods have already invested in tranche 2 because they see the transparency, they see what we are doing, they see the mistakes, because one day we come and say, water is everywhere, but don't worry, we'll deal with it. Pest is the sin, but don't worry, we'll deal with it. This is the challenge. For instance, I reported we had a glut, we have product, we don't have market. I reported it and I said, but give me time. And now we have reversed the problem that we have too much market, no product. So will there be challenges? Yes. But if people see in you that you are someone they can trust with their money. If it's you now, there are some of your friends, you can't even give them 20,000. You know they're your friends. You can't. And that person is telling that they don't have capital, but there is capital in your pocket for them, but you can't give it to them. Do you understand? So I tell people, except you were born into Dangote's family. Many of the capital you need is in the hands of other people. And they need to love and trust you before they can give you the resources. And there are things they will see in you to be able to do those things. If they don't see it, it's not money that they don't have. You don't have capital. And capital does not start with money. It starts with the person who is looking for capital. If you become a certain kind of person, banks will look for you. If you become a certain kind of person, investors will look for you. If you become a certain kind of person, did you see Elon Musk interview where they asked him, what if something happens and you crash and you had, is it $1,500? He says, someone like him cannot crash. Says even if the unimaginable happens, that with his level of wisdom, he will ask people to give him money for the chance to reproduce their money for him. For them. So someone like Elon Musk, wake up tomorrow, 0 naira in his account. He will talk to people. If you give me $10 million in 10 years, you'll be a billionaire. And he will make it happen. Alright? Do you see this in young people? People who are looking for young people they will invest their money in, and they will turn it out right. Imagine you invested in OPay before it became OPay. Imagine you invested in Flutterwave before it became Flutterwave. And by the way, the young people who did that Flutterwave are the same young people who did the OPay, are the same young people who are doing Teva Foods. Other young people are saying that there is no money. Okay? There is money. It's not just coming to you.
This explains why banks that loan money again and again to people that take the money and then pay back their money in due time. And those that take money, of course, you can see there are a number of youths in Nigeria who takes loan and then they fail to return the money.
Even Pampe is looking for them.
They fail to return the money. And
if Pampe is still looking for you, how will investors give you money?
So that explains very well why banks keep giving people that they can trust, give them money to use for businesses or for whatever.
I'm happy that we have discussed thus far to discuss the challenges of agriculture, the prospects, the things we're trying to do with Teva Foods, how it can help young people, and all of those things. I'll leave it to you now to...
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chima. Christian, it's been very, very enlightening, and I'm sure that our viewers, they've gotten a lot of business ideas, because while you were talking, you said a lot of things that when people start to implement it, I'm very sure they will get really good results. And in our next podcast, we're going to talk about the project, the 5,000 capacity cattle and every other thing that you're doing. And we just want our viewers to really take action, because it's like you said, it's very, very important to take action. We have a lot of information, but we have very little action. So if you've listened to us today, I'm sure you got something very, very useful, and you can start implementing it from today. And as you heard Mr. Chima Christian, Teva Food also has an opportunity for trainings free of charge, and you can come and learn and see what you can do in this sector of agriculture. And subsequently, we're going to get back to you with other episodes of this podcast. So thank you for viewing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chima Christian. Thank you for the advice you give to the youths, and to my co-youths, my fellow youths. As you heard, the youthful energy is needed in agriculture. Let's not just leave it to the aged people. Let's put our youthful energy and see what we can produce in Africa. And if you love what you do today, if you like what you hear and you want to keep hearing it, follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all Teva Foods. All right, and we see at the top, Africa's morning is at hand.